All right, so we are continuing on with the Chapter 5 review. Like I've mentioned before, from here on out, we're not going to be journalizing because it will be rinse and repeat, the same journal entries, etc., etc. However, what I do want us to do is practice is that now that we completed the first 2 questions or the first 3 questions, those were dealing with FIFO, okay? So let's see what happens when we're dealing with LIFO. So question number 5 says here that our periodic method is going to be, costing method is going to be LIFO. And assume that all purchases were made on an account. So once again, we're just going to be going over the example. We're going to look at what happened. We're going to journal. We're going to place it into the inventory worksheet, and that's it. We're not going to be journalizing except for the conversion entry. Now, let's take a look here because I'm assuming that questions 1 through 4 are related. Questions 5 through 8 are related, and questions 9 through 12 are related. So here we're starting off with a new period. So there's no beginning here. So as of August 5th, we decided to purchase 1,200 toys at $1 each with the freight costing $50. So once again, we're going to start on a brand new worksheet because even though we're starting on a brand new period, the idea here is that I want to be able to teach you how to compute the rest of the inventory. So August 5th. Okay. We bought 1,200 units at $1 each with the freight costing $50. So let's get started here. And also this time I'm going to be dropping the colors. So here we'll be able to go ahead and solve it this way. Right? So what's my purchase price going to be for our first batch here?
$1,200.
$1,200. Okay. Plus 50 to give us a total cost of
$1,250.
all right, which brings our cost per item to be
1.0416.
all right. So this one is a unrounded number. Okay. So good. All right. So then what happened next?
August 10, you bought 750 at $1.25 with a $45 expense rate.
Okay, hold on. Before we move on to the 10, what happened on the 7th?
Oh, so August 7, you returned 200 toys. Wrong color and accepted 20%, so you really didn't return anything.
You kept them. However, you still got a discount on those items. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So we opened up the box and we found that 200 of them were the wrong color. So in this case, when we were making a return, how many items are we returning?
0.
Okay. But however, at what cost?
$1.
Okay. So if I'm attempting to return 200 items but getting a 20% discount, what should be my amount that I should be getting back?
$40.
All right. So 200 times $1, right? It's 200 times 20% gives you $40. Yes. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and create a table here. And I'm going to call this my goods available. So for this one, right, instead of having to memorize which one came here first, right, I know that for my quantity, for the first batch, right, I didn't return anything. So I should be still at 1,200. However, I got back $40. So in this case, what is my grand total for this batch?
$12.10.
1210. All right. So here, now that I have a new cost, but the same quantity, I still need to calculate my new cost per item because in this case, even though my unit prices are the same, I still need to spread my $50 freight amongst my 1,200 units. But 200 of those units are not costing at $1. So how do we determine what my cost per item is going to be for this one?
You divide 1210 by 1200.
Okay, and what do we get?
I got 1.008333.
Okay, so this one is significantly less. Okay. So that's my first batch there. So then what happened next?
Then she purchased 750 toys at $1.25. Which came to $937.50 plus the $45 in freight comes to $982.50.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cost per item, you divide the $1.25 by the $937.50.
No. We're going to take our total cost of
The $982.50
mm-hmm and divide it by
and divide it by the purchase price,
not the purchase price,
the unit price.
not the unit
No,
price.
the quantity.
Quantity, correct, because we're looking at how much it's going to cost us per item. So in this case, we need to know how many items we have in order to divide $982.50 evenly. So we're taking the total cost. Go ahead.
I got $1.31. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. So this was on August 10. Now, we don't know if this batch is going to be changed or not. So let's go ahead and see what happened next.
You return 50 broken toys for a full refund.
Yes, so we end up opening the box to find, and we tested the products to find that 50 of them were broken. So we requested for a full refund. So, down the table below, how many items did I return?
This time we do enter 50 because we actually returned the toys.
We actually returned the toys. Now, at what cost or at what unit price did I originally purchase this batch for?
$1.25.
$1.25. Since I'm getting a full refund, what is the total amount that I should be getting back?
60 to 50.
$62.50. So here, I know that the second batch that I bought is actually going to be different. because I ended up returning 50 units. So if I originally purchased 750 and I ended up returning 50 of those units back, how much should I have left?
700.
700, right? And because I got money back, right? If I started with it's 982.50 and I got back 62.50, how much should I have? How much is it going to cost me?
I got 965.
965?
Yeah, so it's wrong.
Okay, I think you did 12.50, not 62.50.
Thank you.
Okay, so here should be 920. Is everyone else got 920?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So then, now that we have a new quantity and a new cost, we now need to recalculate our new cost per item because this time I need to spread $920 across my 700 items. Because then, when I sell my items, right, I can count how much it's going to cost me by calculating per item. If it costs me $1.31 per item, so every time I sell one item, it's going to cost me $1.31. And this time, because I have a brand new cost and a brand new quantity, I need to resolve for my cost per item. And it's going to be this time. So I'm going to take my 920 and divide it by 700. And what do I get?
1.31.
Okay, is that what you got? 1.31?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So looking at our batches that we purchased, right? One of the first one we got a discount for, and the second one we actually returned some stuff. So then let's see what happened next.
So 400 at $1.50. I think I messed up. $600. So you purchased 400 items, 400 toys at $1.50,
Mm-hmm.
which came to
Oops.
$600.
All right. So here, August 20th, we purchased 400 units at $1.50, which gave us a total of
$600.
$600. Plus my freight of, I think it was 25. Let's double check. August 20th,
$25.
$25.
So it comes to $625.
$625, okay.
Then divide the 625 by the, I got 156.25.
156.25. Good. Excellent.
Thanks.
So once again, here we're assuming we don't know what's going to happen, right? Someone opened up the box, so we don't know what's going to happen next. So we're going to wait before we transfer it into our goods available. All right. All right. So then what had happened on August 25th?
They purchased 600 toys
Okay.
at $1.75.
So we end up buying more, right? So that means our 400 batch everything was good. No changes there. So we'll have to transfer that into our goods available. But let's go ahead and take a look at recording that we got 600 units at $1.75. Okay, so it's August 25th now. All right, we got 600 units at $1.75. So what's my purchase price here?
$10.50.
All right, it's gonna be $10.50. All right, plus a freight of $30.
$10.80.
$10.80. Bringing our cost per item to be
1.8.
1.8, right? And as I mentioned before earlier, right, we know that the batch for 400 has no changes to it. So that means we have our third batch for 400, right? Cost me a grand total of $6.25, which we know our cost per item is $1.5625. So let me extend that real quick. Wrong way. Right? But let's go ahead and see what happened next. So what happened on the 26th of August?
You return 25 toys at a full refund.
So we actually returned the items. So we returned 25 of those items. So 25. At what cost did I originally purchase these items for?
$1.75.
Yes, because our assumption is that every time we receive our inventory, we need to open up every single box and check each item. All right, so in this case, it's from the latest batch, which is the one that we purchased on August 25th. So for $1.75. And because we're getting a full refund,
$35. Oh,
35. Oh, did you do 150?
so it's 25 times $1.75. 43.75.
43.75. Yes. So therefore, since we end up returning some of the items, therefore our batch here is also going to change, right? We started out with 600, but we end up returning 25. So then how much quantity do I actually have?
$5.75.
575. Okay. All right. And of course, since we got money back, right, our original total cost was $10.80, but we ended up getting a refund for $43.75. So how much is my new total cost?
$1,036.25.
So then again, we have a new quantity and a new total cost. So therefore, we need to recalculate our cost per item. And in this case, how much is my cost per item?
$1.80217.
1.80217. Excellent. All right. And then last but not least, what happened on August 31st?
have an ending inventory of 1,500 toys.
All right, so we have an ending balance of 1,500. Okay. So let's go ahead and tally up our totals. Okay, so let's start off with our net purchases. So here, how many items did I buy in grand total?
I got 29.50.
$29.50, all right? What was the total cost of my original purchase price?
$3,787.50.
Excellent. What was my original freight, total cost of freight?
150.
150. And last but not least, what is my total cost of my original purchases?
I got $3,937.50.
3,900. Yes. All right. Okay. So those are those totals right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and also tally up my goods available. All right. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and highlight this one so then I know that this is a calculation. All right. I'm going to highlight this nice blue color here. All right. To know that this is a sum of a total. So how much should I have available?
$28.75.
You should have a total of $28.75, all right? And at what total cost are my goods available?
$37.91.25.
Good. $37.91.25. I'm also going to go ahead and also calculate my total purchase returns and allowances. All right? So how many items did I actually return in total?
75.
All right, 75 items. And at what total did I actually receive back?
I got 146.25.
146.25. Excellent. Okay. So now we have all of our numbers. So let's plug them in and solve for our cost of goods sold. All right. So let's plug our numbers in. So first things first is we're going to focus on our total net purchases. So we have a total, we began with our purchases with $2,950 at an original cost of $37.87.50. Okay. Right? We returned 75 items, which cost me a total of $146.25. And so therefore, I should have a grand total of $28.75 items, costing me at a total of $36.41.25. Right? Freight adds no cost, but it does, freight doesn't add to quantity, but it adds to cost. So here, we're going to add these values up to get our total net purchases to be $37.91.25, which here in our goods available, right, we match here from our goods available. But that's because we don't have beginning inventory, all right? And because we don't have beginning inventory, right, and we carry down our net purchases, your goods available is going to be your net purchases. So in this case, right, when we calculated everything, everything looks exactly right, right? We matched our goods available to our goods available, and we matched everything else in the table. So now we need to solve for the last thing, which is going to be the cost of goods sold, right? If I started out with $28.75 and I have a total of $1,500 left, how many items did I sell?
$13.75.
$13.75, all right? And now I'm going to build my table right here to do my cost of goods sold. Okay, so this, and I'm going to title this cost of goods sold. All right, so let's go ahead and see how we do this, because what are we are looking at when we sell each item, right? We're going to be using LIFO to figure out how much my cost of goods sold is going to be by using the LIFO method, right? LIFO stands for last one's in, our first out. So let's take a look at our goods available, right? Because our net purchases, it doesn't really matter, because what we did here is we transfer our net purchases to be reflected down below, and we did it in the exact order. So we know exactly what came first and what came last. But because we're practicing LIFO, which is the last batch are going to be the first that we sell, so let's take a look at our goods available. All right, which batch are we going to take from first?
$5.75.
Right, and we're going to take the whole batch because we're selling the grand total of 13. Is it 13? Let's see, 13.75. So here we sold our first 575 items. All right. So then which batch are we going to sell from next? And if you want to, like I said, what you can do with your goods available, since this is your scratch work area, what you could do too is you can actually highlight these, right? And you can scratch them out. So I believe I click this, I can scratch them out. Okay, so I could use the strike through method. All right, click OK, and boom. Now I don't have those items anymore. They are scratched out. So any way that you make it easier for you to know exactly where you're at, do it, right? So there, I scratched those ones out. So what's the next one? Which batch are we going to take from next?
You can use the entire 400.
We're going to use the entire 400. So that means I'm just going to copy the information down because I don't need to calculate this one because I'm going to get rid of the whole batch. So in this case, if I'm going to get rid of the whole batch, no need to have to calculate. You already know the whole thing is going to be for the $625. Okay. How many more do we need to sell to get to $13.75? Right. Okay. How many more do we need to sell?
400.
Exactly 400. So you can, with Excel, you can figure that and figure out by calculating your cost of goods sold, right? The items that you have that you need to sell minus what you already sold now. In this case, I typed in the formula, 13.75 minus 9.75 to get me a total of 400. So in this case, right, which batch am I actually going to be taking out from next?
You're gonna keep the whole,
Go ahead. What was that, Kim?
you're gonna take the 400?
We're taking, that's what we have to sell. That's what's left to sell.
The 400 at $625.
Not at, okay, we already took that one out.
Oh, it's not crossed off. So
I-
you
I-
crossed off the 575 and you've already used the 400?
yes, if you look
So you
very
take,
carefully on my screen, it's crossed out.
okay,
I guess it's just too thin,
okay.
but
So,
it's crossed out.
all right, so you'll take the 400 from the 700.
Correct. And because we're not using all of it, this is now where we need to calculate each item because it's going to cost me $1.3142,857 for each item in this batch. So therefore, this is where I need to calculate the cost per item, right? I need to actually calculate how much it's going to cost me to sell 400 of those items. So I need to take my 400 and multiply it by my cost per item to get me my total cost. So in this case, right, because I have this ongoing number, I'm going to go ahead and throw in my equal round formula because I want to round at the end. Not here in the cost per item, but at the end for my total cost. So in this case, first argument is going to be my equation. So I want to do 400 times the 1.3142,857. End my argument with a comma. Then I want to place it in two decimal places. I want to round it off after the nearest penny. So in this case, what is it going to cost me to sell 400 items at $1.31428? What's my total cost?
I got 525.71.
$525.71. All right. Excellent. All right. I'm going to highlight this so then we know that this is a calculation. So here, right, I ran my equal sum prior, right? Because I want to have a running balance and see where I need to keep selling, right? And then with that, I also pull the formula over so then every time I added a number in here, it also automatically calculate my grand total. So here in grand total of selling 1375 items, right? It cost me a total of $21.8696. All right. So therefore, what should be my ending balance? What should be the total cost of my ending balance?
I got 1604.29.
1604.29. Okay. Excellent. 1604.29. All right. And there we have it. We finished our worksheet. Okay. Any questions? So this time we're going from bottom to top, and that's how we're going to utilize this worksheet, right? If you don't prefer it, then make some kind of other way for you to be able to understand it. All right. But I'm showing you multiple ways on how we're able to get the same exact answer. So that's the beauty of accounting, is that at the end of the day, no matter which way you take to get to your answer, you're going to reach to one conclusion. All right. So here we have it. We solved our answers. So now all we have to do is now do our conversion entry. So question number 6. All right. This is going to be August 31st. All right. Now our conversion entry is going to be converting from our expense to inventory. So what accounts should we be recognizing?
First one should be inventory.
The first one should be inventory, but in this case, I know exactly what I exactly purchased, right? What is it? What did I actually buy? What's the specific item? I bought toys. Okay? So in this case, I'm not going to put everything into inventory. The correct answer is inventory, but in this case, because I bought a specific item, I'm going to use whatever the specified item is. So in this case, it is toys. All right. What else should recognize?
Cost of goods sold.
Cost of goods sold. Right? What else should I recognize?
The purchase price?
Purchase, not the purchase price.
That's the purchase return.
This is going to be the purchase returns. All right. Now, in this case, you depending on what company you work for, you can't. There is other ways, other names that you can use this account. Right? It could be purchases only, purchase expense, purchase price, like you just said. But in general, right? Just understand it. It's just purchase like expense. It's a purchase expense, right? And last but not least,
Freight expense.
freight expense. Okay. So let's go ahead and find our figures. So what was the total ending balance? What was the total cost of my ending balance?
1604.29.
1604.29. What is the total cost of my cost of goods sold?
2,186.96.
Okay, good. What was the total cost of my purchase returns and allowances? 146. Good. Right. What was the total purchase expense or total price of my original purchases?
The 3787.50.
Mm-hmm. And what was my total freight?
150.
150. Good. So once again,
What? 150?
150. So once again, before we do anything, we're going to double check our work. We have 39, 37.50 on the left, 39, 37.50 on the right. So therefore, our journal is good. All right. Okay. You can write a description to say this is a conversion entry, how many items I am converting, how many items I sold, etc., etc. It's up to you because your description is whatever you'd like to put in your journal to kind of reflect what happened. But at the end of the day, you are going to also have your inventory worksheets to work with. So those again, when we talk about adequate disclosure, right? All of those information, right, are separate from the actual journal, right? You're placing information here, you're placing information there. A perfect place to put this is in your general ledger, right? And we'll talk about the general ledger again when we dive into the fictitious business, but we'll see what you can do. You can add descriptions, right? You can make notes if you want to be detailed as possible, saying I bought this many items, then you'll just be more likely to be able to keep track of your inventory a lot better. More details gives you a better outlook of accounting. All right. So now that we've finished that one, right? We finished question number 6. So let's go ahead and continue on forth with question number 7. So question number 7 says we're going to be continuing the inventory from question number 5, right? Our inventory method is going to be periodic and it is still LIFO, right? But here's a key thing that we should know here is that on August 31st, we had a total of 1,500 toys on hand. So just exactly what we solved here in our question 5, right? Our example here. We're going to transfer over the 1,500 units over into our new inventory worksheet. So right here, I'm going to be transferring these 2 batches, right? Because I only dipped I dipped 400 from this one, so I should have 300 left. And we already know what the cost of that was, so we can solve for the rest later. So here I'm going to transfer the 1,200 units at 1210. So go to question number 7, and we're going to be working on the inventory on hand section. So this one is where your beginning inventory lies. So 1,200 at 1210, right? Which gives us that number of 1.083, okay? All right, and we had 300 from the previous batch, right? Which in this case cost me a total, or I guess it's which should give me a total of the 394.29.
12. Oh, and the 3. Okay. Oops.
Mm-hmm. And here I'm just going to go ahead and do my equal sum to reflect that I have beginning inventory, right? To reflect the total of my beginning inventory. So I have my 1,500 units, right? Costing me at a grand total of the 1604.29, which we know because that's what we carried over from our previous inventory worksheet.
So which batch you use, Just to see.
Say that again, Nathan?
Which batch did you take this inventory on hand from?
We took it from our previous worksheet, right? Here. We took it from our previous worksheet right here, right? We said that our goods available was 1,500, right? So what I did was I transferred from my goods available right here, these 2 numbers, right? But we know that we dipped into this batch here, right? We sold 400 of them from the 700. So I should be left with 300 items, right? And I know that it's going to cost me per, right? Which it cost me a total of $525.71 worth, right? You could just simply subtract that out from the 920, or what I did earlier.
LIFO. Okay, I thought it was using LIFO, right?
We're using LIFO, but we need to carry over because we have beginning inventory. So yes, when we do LIFO, no. When we do LIFO, we're gonna dip in our purchases first. So what I'm doing is I'm carrying over the batches, right? Because in this case, right, my batches are going to stay exactly in the same order, right? In this case, these batches are as of August 31st. This one came first. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm transferring over it because we still had that available to sell, right? However, but when we do FIFO, we're going to get rid of those batches, right? But this time we're doing LIFO. We may or may not even touch those batches because those ones came in first. So let's go ahead and fill in our little table here. So this is just transferring them over, right? Because my first thing I have to do is I have to recognize that I have beginning inventory. So this is what's currently in my inventory right now. Okay, I have two batches, one for 1200 and one for 300. Right? And I'm keeping them exactly like this, separated batches, because I'm still following the same rule where each batch is going to have a specific cost per item. Okay? So in this case, right, if I look really back forward, right, one is for August 5th and one is for August 10th. But in this case, because I'm keeping it in the order of exactly how I'm transferring it over, I already know that the top one, the first one that I bought was 1200 and the second one I bought was the 300. Right? So here I'm just transferring over the information that I read in the scenario, which was that August 31st, you should have had a beginning balance of 1500 units. All right? And what I'm going to do here is, just like what we did in the other scenario, in the other worksheet, right? I'm going to make this my goods available. All right? And I'm actually going to place these because these are considered my first batches that I purchased, right? And I'm going to transfer them over exactly in the same order that I have it here, right? The 300, right? And I'm going to transfer the information as well, 12, 10, and the 394.25, right? And of course the cost per items as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm letting you know that my goods available will include my beginning balance, and how this works is that because I'm keeping it in the exact order, right? When I do calculate my cost of goods sold, then I'll follow through with my goods available and eliminate one batch at a time in the order that you are costing it at, which is we're doing LIFO. So there you go. I transfer my beginning balance in my goods available column as well. All right. So then let's go ahead and see what happened in the month of September. So September 5th, what happened here?
So September 5th, you purchased 650 toys at $1.65.
Okay. $650, 65.25. Okay.
With $25 in freight. Okay, so
Excuse me. So right here, since we already know by looking at the next scenario, I'm going to go ahead and transfer that over into my inventory on my goods available. Okay, so this was on September 5th. All right. So from here, what's my total purchase price?
your purchase price, I came up with $1072.50.
1070. No, I did not get 1072.50.
625.
625.
1031.50. Okay, 1031.25
Okay.
plus the $25 in freight, and I got 1056.25.
All right. So in this case, right, we already know that in September 10, we are going to make another purchase. So in this case, my batch of the 625 is perfect. Nothing's wrong with them. So in this case, what is going to be my cost per item here?
$1.69.
$1.69. All right, in this case, that's exactly correct. So once again, like I've mentioned before, I read ahead and I knew that in September 10 we're gonna buy a new batch of purchases. So I'm gonna
What
go
question
ahead.
are we on again? I'm sorry.
What was that?
What question are we on again? I'm sorry.
We are on question number 7.
Okay, because I have the printout from that day, and I have on your printout it says purchase 650 toys, not 625.
Thank you. It does say 650. I'm sorry. So good. So
Yeah, because my numbers were not. I'm like, what did I miss again?
650 at a dollar 65. So here it should be 1072.50.
Okay.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So sorry. I made a typo. So it's supposed to be 650 at a dollar 65. All right. So that would change a lot. So it would change your purchase price to 1072.50 plus $25 should give you a total of 1097.50, which then brings your total cost per item to be $1.68846. Okay. Thank you for that. So then once again, because I know that this batch is going to be the same, no changes, no returns or anything here. So therefore, this should be put into my goods available. So then let's see what happened next on September 10.
We purchased 1,000 toys at $1.80 each, and a freight cost of $40.
So September 10, we purchased 1,000 toys at $1.80 with a freight of 40. Okay.
So your purchase price is going to be $1,800,
Okay.
and then total cost $1,840. Cost per item is $1.84.
Good. Right? Good. So then let's see what had happened next.
You returned 50 defective toys at a full refund.
Okay, so 50 of those items are no good. So we're going to get a full refund. We're actually returning 50 items, right? And at what cost?
Was it, I think $1.80?
Yes, $1.80, correct. So then, because we're getting a full refund, how much money am I getting back?
$90.
We're getting a straight $90. So then, right, when I transfer this amount into my goods available, I know for a fact that I don't have a total of 1,000 anymore, right? Because we returned 50 of them. So I should have a total of
$9.50.
$9.50, right? And of course, I didn't pay the full $18.40 because I got a refund for $90. So therefore, what's my new total cost?
$17.50.
$17.50, okay? So because now I have a new quantity and a new total cost, I need to now recalculate my new cost per item.
I got 1842105, and it goes on and on. Okay.
Good. Okay, let's see what also happened next. Okay, so here we are on September 20th now.
So you purchased 500 toys at $1.85 on September 20th.
$500.85. Okay. And $20 freight. Okay.
So the purchase price is $925, which would give a total cost of $19.45. Yeah. And then divide 39.5. Was the cost per item is $1.89.
$1.89. Okay. Good. So then let's see what else happened on the 22nd of September. So in this case, right, it's September. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you returned 100 toys for a full refund.
Good. So in this case, the company that we were working for, or the company that we were buying from, has shipped us too many things that were the wrong color. So in this case, I say no, I don't want to accept any discount from you. I want a full refund. So in this case, what happened here? We're getting a full refund. We're returning all 100 items. Okay. At what cost is each item that I originally purchased them for?
$185.
$1.85. So therefore, in grand total, what is going to be my refunded amount?
$185.
$185. Right? So now we can transfer that amount in my goods available, right? I purchased 500, but I returned 100. So I have a total of
400.
400. Good. And then I originally purchased my items at $945, but I got a $185 refund. So what's my new total cost?
$760.
$760, and now I have a new total cost and a new quantity. So what is going to be my new cost per item for this batch?
$1.90.
$1.90. Okay, good. Let's see what happened on September 25th.
We purchased
What was
100
your
toys.
question? I'm sorry.
No worries. So we purchased 100 toys at $1.75 on September 25th. So 100 at $1.75 with a freight of $5. So what's my purchase price here?
$175.
Okay, total cost
$180.
with the cost per item to be
$1.80.
$1.80. Okay. And of course, since we've reached the end of the period, right, we have a total ending balance, right? Someone went down to the basement and told you you only have 750 toys left on hand. So right there, 750 toys. So therefore, no changes to this batch. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to my goods available for the 100 items. Okay. At a total of 180, bringing my cost per item to be $1.80. Okay. So there we have it. So I'm going to go ahead and, since I know that I have 750 units left on hand, I'm going to go ahead and enter that right here. So let's go ahead and sum up all of our columns. So let's start off with my purchases, right? How much in grand total did I purchase?
$2,250.
2,250, right? And at what total purchase price?
I got $3,972.50.
Good. All right. What was my total freight?
90.
90. All right. Bringing me a grand total cost to be
I got 4,062.50.
yes. Okay, so, right, so that's that. I'm also going to go ahead and sum up my grand totals for my goods available, and as well as my purchase returns and allowances, mine as well. So what was my grand total for my goods available, including beginning inventory?
3,600.
3,600, right? Which cost me a grand total of my goods available to be
I got $5,391.79.
excellent. And of course, how much in grand total did I return for my quantity?
150.
150. And how much was my total refund?
$275.
275.
Cool.
Right. All right, so now let's go ahead and plug in our numbers into our little worksheet here. So let's start with the first one. How many items did I purchase in grand total, or my original purchases?
The 2250.
That's, yes, 2250, right? How much did it cost me?
3972.50.
Right? How many items did I return?
150.
Okay, at a total of
275.
275. So in this case, what is going to be my subtotal here?
The 2100.
And my cost?
Cost 3697.50.
Good. All right, good. Okay, so freight, once again, does not affect your quantity, but it does affect your total cost, right? So we're going to add $90 to your total. So what is your total net purchases going to be? What's the total cost of your net purchases?
3787.50.
Good. Perfect. Right. Beginning inventory. Yes, we do have beginning inventory. What was it? How many items and how much was the total cost of my beginning inventory?
I want to say 1500.
That is your beginning inventory. At what cost?
Was it $1.85?
And then, okay, what was my total cost of my beginning inventory?
The 1604.29.
That's good, correct. Right. We're gonna carry down my net purchases, right, of 2,100 items at 3787.50 to give me a grand total of goods available to be. What's my quantity for my goods available?
3,600.
3,600 at a total cost of
5391.79.
5391.79, which right there we already know because we've calculated right here in our table in the middle section. So now we are going to solve for our cost of goods sold. So let's start off with the first question here is how many items did I sell in grand total?
$2,850.
2,850. Good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create another small table here for my cost of goods sold because now we are going to be calculating our cost of goods sold. So, all right. All right, so I think I need to add an extra line here. next. Okay, so there we go. Cost of goods sold. I'm going to have my running balance here down below. So equals sum, right? So then I know how many items I am selling or how many items I've sold so far. And I'm going to drag that formula out there so that I know how much it's costing me. So in this case, let's start from our goods available, right? Our costing method is going to be LIFO. So last in are going to be the first ones out. So therefore, which batch am I going to be taking out from first?
100 at $1.80.
Okay, so we're going to take our first one at $1.80, which we know is 180, since we're going to get rid of the entire batch. And I will cross it out. Okay. Good. So which batch am I going to take out next?
400.
We're going to take out the whole batch of 400, which is going to cost me $1.90, which we know without having to calculate it is going to cost me a total of $760. Right? Which then I will cross out. Okay. So we only sold so far 500 items. How many more do we need to go? We have a lot left to sell. So in this case, my next batch I'm going to be selling is going to be
950.
we're going to take the whole thing from $9.50, which is going to cost me $1.8842, which we already know is going to be $17.50. All right, so we have 3 batches left, right? We got 1,200, 300, and 650. How many more items do we need to keep selling? We're only at 1,450.
You need 1,400, right?
Yes, we need we need about 1,400. So in this case, go ahead.
650 is gone.
Mm-hmm. So the 650 batch is going to be gone, which we know is going to cost us a grand total of 1097. All right. What else do we need to sell?
300.
We need to sell the full 800. Okay, so the full 800. So therefore, which batch are we going to be taking out from next?
You took the 300.
We're going to take the whole 300 because we need to sell 800 more, right? In this case, we're going to be taking out everything here. Oops, sorry. All right, then last but not least, we only have one batch left, which is the 1,200. How many are we going to take out from that one?
450.
We're going to take 450.
I believe so. Yeah, right?
Let's see. 2850. minus 2,400. Yes, we are going to be taking 450 from this batch. There's only one batch left anyway, so this time we can, since we're taking a portion out of the 1,200, we need to calculate each item. So in this case, let's go ahead and do our equal round formula because the number that we're looking at is not nice. It's not rounded. So I'm going to go ahead and go equal round. Okay. For 50 times my $1.83333, comma 2. And what should be my total cost for selling those 450 items?
824.965.
What did you say?
No, 4. Yeah, sorry.
No worries. So 453.75 is what I got. Anybody else get the same?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So like I said, having my running balance here. So I'm going to highlight this right here so we know that this is a calculated amount. Okay. So here, oops, I highlighted way too much. So once again here, we sold a grand total of 2,850 items, which cost me a total of $4,635.54. So therefore, what is going to be my ending balance?
$756.39.
756.25. Excellent. All right. And there we have it, our second completion of looking at what happens when you have beginning inventory and you're using the LIFO. So in this case, like I've mentioned before, right, when we look at LIFO, we're going to get rid of our purchases first. And then if we do get there, then we'll take away from our beginning balances. So in this case, we did end up touching our beginning balances. So in this case, our beginning balance basically became our ending balance. So in this case, right, we're going from bottom and making our way up to the top. All right. So let's go ahead and complete our conversion entry and then we can go on a break. So once again, we reach the end of the month. So it is now September 30th. So what accounts are we going to be journalizing?
Is it the toy inventory end?
Yes, toys. All right, right. I'll let you guys do this. Ending inventory, good. What else are we going to recognize?
Cost of goods sold.
Cost of goods sold. What else?
The purchase refund.
Yes, purchase returns, good. Okay, what else?
Our
Purchase expense.
Purchase expense,
And the freight expense.
freight expense,
And the toy inventory beginning balance.
Good. Toys inventory, which I'm going to let you know is the beginning balance. Okay? So let's go ahead and plug in our figures. So what was the total cost of my ending inventory?
$756.25.
$756.25. What was the total cost of my cost of goods sold?
$46.35.54.
Mm-hmm. What was my total purchase returns and allowances?
$275.
$275. And what was my total original purchase price?
$39.72.50.
Good. What was my total freight?
$90.
And last but not least, what was the total of my beginning balance?
$1,604.29.
Good. So, again, before anything, we got to double confirm if our total debits match our total credits. So I have a total of 566679 on the left, and I have a total of 566679 on the right. All right. Excellent job, guys. Any questions? This is LIFO.
No.
All right. So let's go ahead and take a break and stop here. So right now it is 9:56.